Let us look at 2020 paper 1. Equation on bearing is saying, in the diagram below, Q is on bearing of 243 degrees. That is from Q, from P, sorry. So they are saying, what are they saying? Okay. They are saying in the diagram below, Q is on bearing 243 degrees from P. Okay, this is the bearing they're talking about. Okay, 243 degrees. That is from what? From the north of what? P. Okay. Then I've been told to say, find in its lowest terms the bearing of P from Q. Okay. So they want us to find the bearing of P from Q. Now on bearing, the first thing you need to do is you need to identify the point where you are starting from, your movement or the amount or the turning from. Okay? So when they say a P from Q, P from Q, what it means is we are starting from point from the north of what? North of Q going to what? Going to P. Okay, that's the meaning. When they say P from Q, meaning from, that's the point where we're starting from. From the north of this point. Okay, that's where we're starting from. So what we do is, since they are saying find the bearing of, we know where we're starting from. We're starting from point Q. So where Q is, you come up with an imaginary north where Q is. So you come up with a north where Q is. So I'm going to come up with a north where Q is. Okay, this is where I'm starting from. Okay, so this is my north from point what? From point Q. Okay, this is my north. Okay, from point what? From point Q. Okay, now since we are saying Q, this is the point where we are starting from, and we need to start from the north of what? North of Q, going to what? Going to P. Undergoing a clockwise rotation, you undergo a clockwise. Take note of this important point. On bearings, we always move in a clockwise like this, in a clockwise direction like this. Okay? So we're going to move in a clockwise direction from the north of Q going to what? P. So this is our north. This is where the north of Q is. Now going to what? Going to the line what? Line P. Okay, so this, we move in this direction. Yes. So this is the bearing they want. This is the bearing they want. This angle. This amount of turning. This is the bearing they want. Now in this case, for us to know this angle, we need to know this angle. Okay? So since you know that from this point to this point, this is what? 243. Okay? So what we're going to do, we're going to extend this turning. We're going to extend it like this. Okay? We're going to extend it like this. Okay, to come up with a circle or a complete revolution like this. Okay? Yes. Okay? Now since you know that this part, this shaded part, this part of shaded is 243. Okay? We need to find this unshaded part. Okay, this is 243. We need to find this unshaded part. So for us to find this unshaded part, let's say this unshaded part is x. We don't know this angle. We don't know this angle. So we put x. So how do you find x? For you to find x, you just say, let us find this one, just say x is equal to, we know that the angle formed in a complete revolution add up to 360. This entire angle is 360. So it's the 360, you subtract what is shaded, this given angle, which is what? 243. Okay? So it's the 0 minus 3, trying to get a 1. We're going to begin with 5 here. This one becomes 10. So 10 minus 3, you get 7. Then 5 minus 4, you get 1. 3 minus 2, you get 1. So this angle is what? 117. This angle is 117 degrees. This angle is 117 degrees. Okay? Now, since we know this angle is 117, this angle is 117, it's going to be easy for us to find this angle. Because we know that if you have got, there is a property in mathematics, if you have got this, if this line, okay, if you have got a line like this, if this line and let's say this line, okay, with this line, okay. Okay, if this line and this line, these two are parallel, then you have got a transversal line, okay? You have got a transversal line. Then these two angles on the side, on this other side of a transversal, these two angles, they add up to 180. Okay, I'm saying if you have got this line and this line are parallel, then this one is a transversal line. These two angles, they are supplementary, they add up to 180. So if this is, let's say, x, this is, let's say, y, you just say x plus y is equal to 180. These are called allied angles. They add up to what? They add up to 180. Okay? So similarly, in this case, these two are allied angles. They add up to what? They add up to 180. Okay? So if this is x, let's say this is y. Okay? If this is x, this is y. Okay? So we know that x plus y is equal to 180 degrees. So in this case we have x, which is what? 117. This one is 117. So it's a 117 degrees plus y is equal to 180 degrees. So for us to manipulate, just say y is equal to 180 minus 117. Okay? So it's a 0 minus 7. Can you get a 1? You're going to make the 7 here. Then when you put this one, you're going to have 10. 10 minus 7, get what? You get 3. Okay? Then 7 minus 1, you get what? You get 6. Okay? So you have got 63 degrees. So now in this case, since we have been told to find the bearing, just say bearing is equal to, now bearings are written in 3 figures. So our answer, it has 2 figures. This is 63, it has 2 figures. So for us to make it a 3-figured number, we're going to put a 0, we're going to add a 0 in front of this 63. So we're going to have 63 degrees. So 63 degrees, this is the bearing of P from what? From Q. Now let us look at 2019 paper 1. It says, in the diagram below, B is only a bearing of 50 degrees. So look at this 50 has been written in 3 figures. Okay, that's the standard, okay? So it's they are saying B is only a bearing of 50 degrees from A. 50 degrees from A, this is the 50 they're talking about. So 50 degrees from the north of what? From the north of A. Okay? Then we're being told to say, calculate the bearing of A from B. They want the bearing of A from B. Now remember I said, if you have been told to say, calculate the bearing of, let's say, A from B, let's just use the same question, A from B. You first need to identify where you are starting your movement from. Okay? So, you're starting from what? Point B. Okay? You're starting from the north of B, going to what? Going to A. Okay? We're starting from the north of what? B, going to what? A. So, we're going to generate a north from point B. So, where B is, we come up with what? A north. Okay? A north like this. Okay, come up with a north. This is our north. Okay? This is our imaginary north. Okay? This is our north. Okay? Now, immediately you come up with a north from point B, you realize at the north of point A and point B, these two are parallel. These two are what? These two are parallel. Okay? So now, how are we moving? We are moving from the north of B going to point what? A. Okay? And I'm going to clockwise movement direction. Okay, so we're going to move in a clockwise, going to point what? Point A. From the north of B. So we're going to move like this. Okay? Yeah, this is the bearing we want. Okay? This amount of turning. This is the bearing they want. Okay? Now, we cannot know this amount of turning minus us knowing this angle. So we need first to extend this. If we were to extend this, okay, extend this, we're going to come up with a circle. Okay? So what we want is this part. This part I'm changing. Okay? This is the amount of turning they want. Okay, now we cannot know this amount of 10 minus knowing this. Okay, so let us find this angle. So let's say this angle is x, since we don't know this angle. And you know that if, take note, I talked about right angles, where I said if you have got two parallel lines, if this line, okay, this line and this line are parallel, then you have got a transversal line. Then these two angles on the same side of this transversal, they are supplemented, meaning they add up to 180. Okay, so in this case, for us to know x, we just say, we need to know this x, just say x is equal to 180 degrees, subtract what? 60, minus 50, sorry, minus 50, so you say is equal to 180 minus 50, you get what? You get 130. You get 130. Okay? So this angle is what? This angle is 130. This angle is 130. Okay? Now, we have been told to say find the bearing of A from B, which is this shaded part. Okay, this shaded part. So for us to know this shaded part, we know that if we complete this entire circle, this one, okay, we know that the sum is what? 360. Okay, angles formed in a complete what? Revolution is what? 360, the entire angle. Okay, so for us to know the bearing, we're going to say bearing is equal to 360, you say 360 degrees minus x. You just subtract this unshaded part for you to know the shaded part, okay? Minus the x. So you say 360 degrees. What is our x? Our x is 130 minus 130. Okay? So 0 minus 0 get what? You get the 0. 6 minus 3 get what? You get 3, and 3 minus 1 get what? 2. So the bearing is what? 230. That's the bearing of what? A from what? From B. That's the way you answer. Simple as that. Go on, Puller.